In this next session, we're going to look at lessons 54 through 56. The first thing that we're going to start with is graphing parabolas. And you're going to start with something that is y equals x squared minus 4x plus 2. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to solve by completing the square. And the way you complete the square is you're going to say y equals x squared minus 4x. You're going to take this number and bring it out. You're going to divide this number by 2 and then square it. So you get negative 2 squared is positive 4. How can you add that in there? Well, the way you can do that is if you put negative 4 out here. It's like you didn't even add anything to it. When you do that, you're able to go y equals x minus 2 squared, because that's what this is. It becomes a perfect square. Then you've got minus 2 on the outside. Now, with that, you have all that you need to graph this. So of course, you can use your calculator, but you still need the points to be able to put this up here. The first point you can get is the y-intercept. When you plug in 0 for x, 0, 0, you're left with y equals 2, because all of that is gone if 0 is plugged in for x. So you have 0, 2, so there's the deal. Now it's a positive parabola, so we know it's going to open upward. And you can get your other ones. Your x will be 2, because you get the opposite sign of this. And your y will be negative 2. So you have 2 comma negative 2. So you go over 2, negative 2 down. So your parabola will look like this. And they're going to want you to have this. They're going to want you to label this right here. And this is, of course, 0 comma 2. So that's how you graph by completing the square. Next thing we're going to look at is in lesson 55. It's two different types of permutations, probability. And in this first one, it's going to be circular permutations. It says how many ways can 6 different items be arranged in a line, and how many ways can 6 different items be arranged in a circle? Okay, 6 different items in a line is going to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what you've done. You multiply them together, you get your answer. But if you're going in a circle, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except you go back to a 1 at the end because it is a circle and not a line. And then you multiply all those together. So in the top one, you get 720, and in the bottom one, you get 120. But this one is circular permutations. So the only difference between those two is this. So if you see the word circular, you know to go about with this method. This next concept is called distinguishable permutations. And it's going to have a formula right here where it's N exclamation mark, A exclamation B, C, however many that you need there. And what you have on top is you're going to have the overall number of possibilities, and on the bottom you're going to put your duplicates. Okay, so if you have a problem that says we have 10 marbles, 3 red, 3 blue, 4 green, what are the distinguishable permutations with these 10 marbles? Well, 10 exclamation on top is your total number of marbles, and then on bottom you have 3, 3, and 4. And so you simply fill that into your calculator, and I would put parentheses around everything in this one. So we're going to go parentheses 10, and it's going to be on the math PRB. So it's math PRB, and you see the exclamation mark there. So then we're going to go parentheses divided by parentheses, let's go 3, math, PRB, close parentheses. All right, now let's do it all as one. And so we'll go 4, math, there we go, and then 3, math, same thing, now close parentheses, hit enter. So set up the equation like that and you get 4,200. In the last lesson, lesson 56, you've got two different geometry type problems. First one is going to be area of a triangle that's not a right triangle. All of these area of a triangles that you have done up to this point have had a right angle, and so you're able just to go base times height. This one we're going to have to find the height. We're going to do that using sine, cosine, and tangent. So right here, in order to find the height, this would be the hypotenuse here. So from here, we could do sine of 46 degrees equals opposite h over hypotenuse, which is 12. We'll multiply both sides times 12. And so you put 12 sine 46 in your calculator, and you get that 12 sine 46 is 8.63. So our height is 8.63. And you can leave that, I would encourage you to leave that in your window. You multiply that times the base, which is 16, equals, divide that by 2. And then you should have your answer is 69.05. This next one is a little bit different, but it's the same concept. And that is where you draw the height here and you make the right angle. Now, this being the height, this would be the hypotenuse opposite that. The only key is you have to realize your angle's not 150, it's going to be 30 here. 150 minus 180. And so we'll take it from here. So the sine of 30 equals h over 14. Multiply both sides by 14. And you're going to get 14 sine 30 equals 7. Multiply that times your base of 6 equals 42, divided by 2, and you get your answer is 21 meters squared. That's area of a triangle without a right angle. We have one more geometry type in lesson 56, and then we'll look at some graphing stuff. In this one, they're going to give you a triangle and a sector, and they're going to want you just to find the area of the shaded part. So you have to take the area of the sector and subtract the area of the triangle, and then it's going to give you what is left over. Now, area of the sector is degree over 360 times pi r squared. So you take that and then subtract base times height divided by 2, and then you'll come up with your answer. First thing is we have 0.6 radians. We're going to change that to degrees, and the way you do that is 180 degrees over pi radians. And so 0.6 times 180 equals, divided by 3.14, and you get 34.39. So our angle is 34.39 divided by 360 times pi. 10 squared is 100. We go ahead and do the math on that. Minus base times height. The base of this triangle is going to be 10. The base of the triangle is 10. And just like we learned in the last concept, we've got to draw our height. We have our base is 10, and we're going to have to use our degree, our angle, which is 34.39 after we convert it from 0.6 radians to degrees. So it's going to be the sine of 34.39 equals the height divided by the hypotenuse. So we go multiply 10 over here. So we go 10 sine 34.39, and that gives us 5.65. So that is our height. Multiply that times 10 divided by 2. So we have 28.24 here. And over here you put all your numbers in. 34.39 times 314 equals divided by 360. And we got 29.995. Subtract 28.24. That gives us 1.76 feet squared. That is your answer for the area of that right there. Now the last thing we're going to look at is this example over here. And they're going to ask you, is it A, B, C, or D? Well, you have a parabola, a positive parabola, and then you have a line right there. And so they say it is less than the line. So below the line is going to be, there's the line, below it'll be C or D. But then it says it's greater than a positive parabola. And greater than a positive parabola is going to be inside the parabola. So if it's below the line and inside the parabola, it is going to be C. Now, if it was less than the positive parabola, it would have been D. If it would have been a negative parabola, greater than would actually be outside. Less than would be inside. Just got to know that about parabolas. But the answer to this is going to be C, because we have a positive parabola. It's greater than, so it's inside the positive parabola. And it's less than the line, so it's either C or D, but it's going to be C.